In the previous class, I explained about plastids. How many types? 3 types. Leucoplast, chromoplast, chloroplast. 3 types means trimorphic or polymorphic cell organelles. Today, I am going to explain ribosomes. What is that? Ribosomes. And then cytoskeleton. These 2 subtopics I am going to explain today. Right, one by one, detailed description. Okay, right. Ribosomes, first discovered by Palade. Ribosomes were first discovered by Palade. That's why these ribosomes are called Palade granules. Ribosomes discovered by Palade, so called Palade granules. Where do you find these ribosomes? Ribosomes are found both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Present in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. By which substance these ribosomes are made up of? Means ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. Don't say DNA and proteins. Okay. Ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. RNA means it is a nucleic acid. Proteins together called nucleoproteins. So ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. RNA means which type of RNA? It is rRNA. If you remember means, what is the full form of rRNA? Ribosomal RNA. That's why the name was given as rRNA. Why? Because ribosomes are made up of rRNA. Which nucleic acid? RNA. Don't say DNA. Very, very important point. Ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. Which type of RNA? rRNA. Full form ribosomal RNA. As ribosomes are made up of rRNA, those are so called rRNA. Like that you have to remember. If you remember the full form means, we can remember this one. So rRNA means ribosomal RNA, and then proteins also it contains. So ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. RNA is a nucleic acid. RNA is a nucleic acid. Proteins, nucleoproteins. Which type of nucleic acid? Ribonucleic acid. That's why those proteins are so called ribonucleoproteins. Together called ribonucleoproteins. What does it mean? Ribonucleo means ribonucleic acid and proteins. So ribosomes are made up of ribonucleoproteins. Don't say deoxyribonucleoproteins. It is not made up of DNA. It is made up of RNA and proteins. That's why it is so called ribonucleoproteins. Very, very important point, my dear students. Right. Overall, which one are made up of which nucleic acids and proteins? Ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. Okay. Next, viruses are made up of either DNA or RNA, but not both. Each virus particle is having either DNA or RNA, but not both. DNA plus proteins. Some viruses are made up of RNA and proteins, like that. DNA and proteins, or RNA and proteins. Next, chromosomes are made up of DNA, RNA, histone proteins. Histone proteins means H2A, H2B, H3, H4. Those are all histone proteins. And non-histone proteins are also present. How many components are present in eukaryotic chromatin or chromosomes? 4 components: DNA, RNA, histone proteins, non-histone proteins. 4 components. Very, very important point. Next, nucleosomes. Nucleosomes are made up of DNA and histone proteins. Don't say RNA. Next, plasmosomes. Plasmosomes are also called nucleoli. Nucleolus is singular, nucleoli is plural. I am not saying nucleus, nucleolus. Nucleolus means the spherical body present inside the nucleus is called nucleolus. The spherical body present inside the nucleus is called nucleolus. Nucleolus is singular, nucleoli is plural. So, nucleolus is also called plasmosome. These are made up of DNA, RNA and proteins. So, all these are all made up, chemically made up of nucleoproteins, that is nucleic acid and proteins. Some are made up of DNA and proteins, some are made up of RNA and proteins, some are made up of both DNA and RNA and proteins. So, nucleoproteins means either DNA or RNA or both and proteins. So, ribosomes are made up of ribonucleoproteins, that is RNA and proteins. Which type of RNA? Ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA. Okay. Now come here, my dear students. Ribosomes are also called, otherwise called membraneless cell organelle. How many membranes are present in around each ribosome? 0. So that is membraneless, non-membrane bound cell organelle. Overall, which are membraneless cell organelles? One is ribosomes, another one is centrosome or centrioles. Centrosome or centrioles, which are useful for cell division, present only in animal cells, whereas ribosomes found in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, found in both plant cells and animal cells. Right. These are also called Palade granules, as these were discovered by Palade. Next, these are universal cell organelles. Universal cell organelles, because these are present both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Present both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. These are also called primitive cell organelles. These are also called primitive cell organelles because these are present in prokaryotes also. These are present in prokaryotes also. Because these are present in prokaryotes also. Next, these are all the smallest cell organelles. Smallest cell organelles are ribosomes. Largest cell organelles are nucleus. Second largest means chloroplast. Again I am saying, my dear students, largest cell organelle is nucleus. Nucleus, don't say nucleolus. Largest cell organelle is nucleus. Second largest cell organelle is chloroplast. Smallest cell organelle is ribosomes. How many membranes are present around each ribosome? 0. Why? Because these are membraneless cell organelle or non-membrane bound cell organelle. Right. These ribosomes are also called ergosomes. These ribosomes are also called ergosomes. Next, these are useful for synthesis of proteins. That's why these ribosomes are also called protein factory or factories. These ribosomes are also called protein factory or protein factories. These are also called workbenches of protein. These are also called workbenches of protein. Next, these are also called cell organelle within cell organelle. That is, inside the chloroplast and inside the mitochondria, ribosomes are present. Okay, inside the chloroplast and mitochondria, 70s type of ribosomes are present. That's why cell organelle within cell organelle. Why? Because ribosomes are found in chloroplast and mitochondria, and these are dimorphic cell organelle. Why? Because 70s type and 80s. Other words, some ribosomes are free living, they live freely, and some ribosomes are associated. That's why whatever it may be, ribosomes are dimorphic cell organelles. What the reason means? There are two types. They lie freely. Second one, they are associated. Associated ribosomes, free ribosomes, or other words, 70S type, 80S. So whatever it may be, ribosomes are nothing but dimorphic ribosomes. Dimorphic cell organelles. Ribosomes are also called dimorphic. Di means two. Next, what are the different types of ribosomes? Ribosomes are 70S and 80S. This is 80S ribosomes. This is 70S ribosomes. Right. 70S ribosomes, it contains two subunits, 50S and 30S. 50S is the larger subunit, 30S is the smaller subunit. S means sedimentation coefficient, that is measured in Svedberg units. S means sedimentation coefficient measured in Svedberg units. It is indirectly, it is a measure of density and size. Density and size. Don't say directly, it is indirectly a measure of density and size. S means units, Svedberg units, and sedimentation coefficient. Indirectly, it is a measure of density and size, right? 70S and 80S. 70S, what are the two subunits? 50S and 30S. Okay, don't say 40 and 30. 50S and 30S. What is the larger subunit in 70S? 50S. Smaller subunit in 70S? 30S, right? 80S, 60S, 40S. 60S means larger subunit, 40S means smaller subunit. Larger subunit in 80S, 60S. Smaller subunit in 80S, 40S. Where S means sedimentation coefficient measured in Svedberg units. It is indirectly, it is a measure of density and size. Okay? So there are two types of ribosomes. Right. Now look at here, my dear students. This is the diagram of ribosomes. This is the 70S diagram. 70S diagram means this is 30S smaller subunit. This is larger subunit 50S. So 70S means 30S, 50S. That is smaller subunit, larger subunit. What are the specialities of larger subunit? Larger subunit contains two sites, P site and A site. Left side is called P site, right side is called A site. Like that only you have to say. So how many sites do you find? Two sites, P site, A site. In which subunit? Larger subunit. Don't say smaller subunit. Okay. And this larger subunit also contains an enzyme called peptidyl transferase enzyme, which helps in formation of peptide bonds between AS means amino acids. So this is the enzyme required for the formation of peptide bonds between amino acids. Between AS means amino acids. So what are the important points related to larger subunit? Larger subunit contains two sites. Left side is called P site, right side is called A site. It also, larger subunit also contains an enzyme called peptidyl transferase enzyme. It helps in formation of peptide bonds between amino acids in eukaryotes, not in prokaryotes. Okay? Right. Next, peptidyl transferase enzyme found in which subunit? Larger subunit. The two subunits of ribosomes are associated, here associated no? Are associated together with the help of element called magnesium ions, Mg+2. So that is, the two subunits of ribosomes are associated with each other in presence of magnesium ions, Mg+2 ions. The two subunits are held together with the help of which ions? magnesium ions, right? If you look at here means this is the 70s and this is the 80s. Okay. Next, what is the smaller subunit in 70s? 30s. Larger subunit 50s. Here smaller subunit 40s. Larger subunit 60s. P means P means peptidyl site. A means acylation site. P means peptidyl site. A means acylation site. This large subunit contains two specialties, two sites. Left side is called P site, right side is called A site. This large subunit also contains an enzyme called peptidyl transferase enzyme, which helps in the formation of peptide bonds between amino acids in eukaryotes, whereas in prokaryotes, which are useful in the formation of peptide bonds in prokaryotes means ribozymes. What is that? Not ribosomes. Ribozymes are helpful in the formation of peptide bonds between amino acids in prokaryotes, whereas in eukaryotes, peptidyl transferase enzyme is helpful in the formation of peptide bonds between amino acids in eukaryotes, not in prokaryotes. Whereas in prokaryotes, that peptide bond is formed by ribozymes. Ribozymes. What are ribozymes? Some nucleic acids that behave like enzymes are called ribozymes. Example, 23S rRNA. 23S rRNA. Right. Association of two subunits. Association of two subunits occurs by high concentration of magnesium ion. Dissociation means separation. So dissociation of two subunits occurs by low concentration of Mg+2. If high concentration of magnesium ions are present means those two subunits are held together. If low concentration of magnesium ions present means those two subunits are separated with each other. So association of two subunits can be done by high concentration of magnesium. Dissociation of two subunits occurs by low concentration of Mg+2. Okay. Which element is involved means magnesium. Next. So 70s, 80s. Prokaryotes, eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, 70s ribosomes are present. In prokaryotes, 80s type of ribosomes are absent. Okay. Whereas in eukaryotes, both 70s and 80s ribosomes both are present. Try to focus on this topic, my dear students. This is very, very important. 70s type of ribosomes are found. 70s type of ribosomes are found both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. 80s type of ribosomes are found only in eukaryotes, absent in prokaryotes. Now I am asking some questions. Prokaryotes contain 70s. Prokaryotes not having 80s. Eukaryotes contain 80s. True. Eukaryotes contain both 80s and 70s. True. Eukaryotes contain 80s ribosomes only. False. They also contain 70s. So 70s ribosomes are found both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. 70s type of ribosomes are found both in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. True. 80s type of ribosomes are found only in eukaryotes. True. Absent in prokaryotes. True. So 80s type of ribosomes are absent in prokaryotes, found only in eukaryotes. See, prokaryotes, eukaryotes. Where do you find? In prokaryotes, 70s ribosomes, 70s type of ribosomes are found freely in cytoplasm. In prokaryotes, 70s type of ribosomes are found, they lie freely in cytoplasm. Whereas in eukaryotes, 80s type of ribosomes, they lie freely in cytoplasm and they are associated on and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. If endoplasmic reticulum is studded with containing ribosomes, that is so called rough ER, also called granular ER. So that is 80s type of ribosomes lie freely in cytoplasm on rough ER. Where do you find 70s type of ribosomes in eukaryotes? That is inside the chloroplast and inside the mitochondria. Plants means both chloroplast and mitochondria. Whereas in animals means, we have to say 70, in animals, where do you find 70s? In animal cells, where do you find 70s? Only in mitochondria. Whereas in plant cells means both chloroplast and mitochondria. Why? Because chloroplasts are found only in plant cells, not found in animal cells. Okay, right. This is the mRNA. This is the smaller subunit, this is the larger subunit. Many ribosomes on mRNA. So that is a group of ribosomes on mRNA which occurs during translation, that is so called polysomes. Poly means many. Also called polyribosomes. A group of ribosomes on mRNA is called polysomes or polyribosomes. Very, very important point. A group of ribosomes on mRNA is called polysomes, also called polyribosomes. This structure, polysome structure, will be found during translation. Don't say transcription. Translation, found during translation, right? How does these ribosomes are formed? From where do these ribosomes are formed? Certain secondary constructions of chromosome. Certain means some. Some secondary construction of chromosome. What are the parts of chromosome? Centromere, also called primary construction. Second part, secondary construction. Next one, telomeres. So what are the parts means? Centromere, that is primary construction, secondary construction, telomere and satellite. These are the parts of chromosome. Certain secondary constructions of chromosome, they produce nucleolus, not nucleus, nucleolus. Nucleolus is also called plasmosome. This nucleolus is non-cell organelle. Don't say cell organelle. Nucleus is a cell organelle. Nucleolus is not a cell organelle. It is a part of nucleus. It is a structure of nucleus. So, for certain secondary construction of chromosome produces nucleolus. Nucleolus produces ribosomes. Ribosomes produces proteins. Again I am saying, my dear students, try to focus on here. Certain secondary construction of chromosome produces nucleolus. Nucleolus produces ribosomes. Ribosomes produces proteins. That is, proteins are formed from ribosomes. Ribosomes are formed from nucleolus. Nucleolus are formed from secondary constructions of chromosome. Okay, this nucleolus is a membrane or membraneless means membraneless part. Is it a cell organelle? No. It is non-cell organelle. Nucleolus is also called plasmosome. Right. From the ribosomes, proteins are formed. That's why these ribosomes are called protein factory. These ribosomes are useful in the synthesis of proteins. Where do these proteins are formed? From the ribosomes. That's why these ribosomes are called protein factories. From the nucleolus, ribosomes are formed. That's why these nucleolus are called ribosomal factory. Which are called ribosomal factory? Nucleolus. Which are called protein factory? Ribosomes. From the secondary constructions, nucleolus are formed. These are so called, as these are useful in the synthesis of nucleolus means, these are called nucleolar organizer regions, shortly as NOR. Nucleolar organizer region or nucleolar organizing region. Which parts are called nucleolar organizer regions means secondary constructions. Why? Because that secondary constructions are useful in the production of nucleoli. So secondary constructions are called simply called NOR, nucleolar organizing region. And nucleolus is commonly called ribosomal factory. Ribosomes are popularly called protein factory. How can we remember means proteins are synthesized from ribosomes. That's why where the ribosomes are synthesized, where the proteins are synthesized, ribosomes. So ribosomes are popularly called protein factory. From where these ribosomes are produced, nucleoli. That's why these nucleoli are popularly called ribosomal factory. Where does this nucleolar synthesize? Secondary construction. That's why these are so called nucleolar organizer regions. Okay? Ribosomes are formed from, very, very important point. Ribosomes are formed from nucleolus. Right? That is, inside the nucleus, nucleolus is present. From that nucleolus, ribosomes are formed. That is, where does these ribosomes origin? Inside the nucleus. That is intranuclear in origin. But these ribosomes function at cytoplasm. That is, name the cell organelle. That is intranuclear in origin, but extranuclear in function. That is ribosomes. From the nucleolus, ribosomes are formed. From the nucleolus, ribosomes are formed. That is, inside the nucleus, ribosomes are formed. So, nucleus contains nuclear pores. From those nuclear pores, ribosomes are transported from nucleoplasm to cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, the ribosomes function will occur. So that is, origin is inside the nucleus, function is outside the nucleus. So in eukaryotic cells, intranuclear origin and extranuclear function is ribosomes. Very, very important point. Ribosomes are synthesized inside the nucleus from the nucleolus, function at cytoplasm. That's why intranuclear in origin but extranuclear in function. What is that cell organelle? Ribosomes. This ribosomes function is useful for synthesis of proteins. Where this protein synthesis occur? Cytoplasm. Origin is inside the nucleus from the nucleolus. So intranuclear origin and extranuclear function is ribosomes. Next, function of ribosomes is useful for protein synthesis. That's why these ribosomes are called protein factory. So please note down all these points, my dear students. Now look at here, my dear students. Associated with protein synthesis are of the following which are associated with protein synthesis are, that is ribosomes, useful for protein synthesis. Okay. Chloroplast and mitochondria also we have to say. Actually, chloroplast is useful for synthesis of food materials or assimilation of food materials. Mitochondria is useful for aerobic respiration. Of course, these two cell organelles contain 70S ribosomes, 70S type of ribosomes. That's why these are associated with protein synthesis. Rough ER. What is that rough ER which contains 80S ribosomes? Don't say 70S. As ribosomes are present means useful for protein synthesis. Cytoplasm contains 80S ribosomes. So these are all associated with protein synthesis. Okay. Next question. Incubation of tRNA from Pisum cell, that is from Pisum cell tRNA is incubated with mRNA of Datura cell, that is mRNA is taken from Datura cell, from Pisum cell tRNA is taken, and ribosomes of onion cell, that is one type of RNA is from each plant. From Pisum cell tRNA is collected, Datura cell mRNA is collected, from onion cell ribosomes are collected. Under appropriate conditions produce protein characteristic of to which plant these proteins are formed, because how can we say that is Pisum type or Datura type or onion type or mixed type? Answer is Datura type. How can we say Datura means mRNA is having codons. That genetic message on mRNA is in the form of codons. Based on that codons only proteins are formed. So to which plant that mRNA is belonging means protein is also belonging to that plant. Simple point. Make it simple means to which plant that mRNA belong? Here in this question mRNA belonging to Datura plant. So the answer is Datura type. So mRNA of Datura type. So protein will be of Datura type. Why? Because protein is formed based on codons on mRNA. mRNA is having codons. That codons is nothing but genetic message. Based on codons on mRNA, proteins are formed. To which plant that mRNA is belonging means proteins also belonging to that plant. Here in this question, mRNA is belonging to Datura plant. That's why proteins are belonging to Datura plant. Okay? Did you understand, my dear students? Right. I hope you understood. Right. Next one. Cytoskeleton. What is that? Cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton means it is an elaborate network of filamentous proteinaceous structures. Those are nothing but proteins only. So filamentous proteinaceous structures present in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cell is called cytoskeleton. So that is an elaborate network of filamentous proteinaceous structure. That is cytoskeleton is made up of proteins, filamentous structures present in cytoplasm of eukaryotes is called cytoskeleton. That means these are found in eukaryotes only, not in prokaryotes. Right. This cytoskeleton contains three components: microtubules, microfilaments, and intermediate filaments. Very, very important point. So that is contains three components: microtubules, microfilaments, and intermediate filaments. This will come in another place also. These microtubules, cilium or flagellum, internally microtubules are present. Cilium or flagella. Cilium means singular, cilia means plural, flagella means singular, flagella means plural. Cilia and flagella in eukaryotes, those are made up of microtubules. Later it will come. Okay. Right. What are the functions of cytoskeleton? Functions of cytoskeleton. Mechanical support. It gives mechanical support. Maintenance of cell shape. It maintains the shape of the cell. So which helps in maintaining the shape of the cell means cytoskeleton. It also gives motility of the cell motility. It also gives intracellular transport. Intracellular transport means that a transport occurs inside the cell only, not between the cells. Intracellular, within the cell, the transport occurs. So, cytoskeleton helps in intercellular transport. False. Intracellular transport. True. Intra means within the cell, not between the cells. Right. It also helps in signaling across the cell. It helps in signaling across the cell. It also helps in karyokinesis, that is in terms of movement of chromosomes during cell division. Chromosomes movement during cell division. These are the functions of cytoskeleton. Of course, these three functions are given in NCERT textbook, but these three functions are not in NCERT textbook. Whatever it may be, follow all the functions of cytoskeleton. So please note down all these points, my dear students, and we will meet in the next class.